just need to stop it from playing. There's the times when it starts live streaming and then it plays over, and there we go. All right, welcome everyone to another exciting episode of AirHeads. So Fleur won't be joining us for a few weeks. We're working out some commercials and some agreements and things. Everything's all totally fine, but we just have to work out her commitments to some other stuff, and so that's sad because you kind of quarterbacks some of these things to be able to. I don't think we've stumped her yet with a particular question, but so she will be back in a few weeks, hopefully. So all good. It does mean we'll be able to. We'll still keep going. Everything's all fine. And I'm sure that there's a whole bunch of knowledge that we have. It wasn't all just in Fleur. So let's see how we go. So the other thing is that I don't know that we necessarily need to have a topic every week. There's a couple of different things that I want to raise, and hopefully everyone or a few people come with something to kind of thrash around and have a little chat about. And if we go for an hour, great. If we don't, that's also fine. And that's the thing with it being every week, that hopefully it's right at the time when you have a pressing thing that you're working through. And so that's the idea of it. So with that being said, has anyone got anything that they wanted to raise? Or look Nancy, straight into it. Go for it.
I did actually post it in the thing, but it was only this morning.
Oh yeah, cool.
I kept forgetting.
Okay, great.
I've got a tricky situation and I don't know if there's a way around it. And I'm really hoping there is. I'm helping someone with the exhibition portal. Well, they were using, and they have different allocations of registrations to dinner tickets for their sponsors. So they have like 2 registrations and 4 dinner tickets for like a gold sponsor. Thoughts?
So the way that we started getting around it is that we built different stand types, but I don't know whether that's going to work.
It won't work.
No.
The only way that I can think of is to do like a dinner ticket. I've just thought of this. Do a dinner ticket and do like comp 1 and comp 2.
We've this happens quite a bit, I think.
Yeah.
And what I've done in the past is had assume, like, for the most part, the person attending the conference is probably going to attend the dinner.
Yes. Yeah. So those 2 are fine.
Yeah. Yeah. But then there's 2 extras. Yeah. Sometimes you just have to create the link and send it to the contact manually and say, allocate your final 2 dinner tickets.
Has anyone used the group allocation portal?
Yeah. We've got ours. It's the way events I started and they'd already built. It's the exhibitor portal, and the way, and it's annoying, but it kind of works, is that all of their entitlements are set up as a function. So like a full delegate, 3 days. So it sits on the main contact. The only issue is that you have to do a bulk upload for like their name tag, because obviously they need a registration. And then usually what we do is we do a bulk creation that anyone who's booked like a 3-day delegate pass includes the functions. Then we just bulk create those extra functions for them. But it's not great, but I think and then their entitlements are set up, I'm pretty sure, as a marketing code. It's messy.
That sounds really complicated.
It does, but once it's set up, it does mean that they can go in and do their own delegates for whatever entitlements they have.
So did you say that you do that through the exhibitor portal?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
do you just,
exhibitors will go into the portal and they will actually do all their own staff registrations.
and do you do that as a separate interactive site or as in through using the complimentary and the additional?
This is why it's lots of that's why I'm lucky I get to clone it every year and just update it. It's an interactive site as well. And yeah, it kind of works. I always wish, and that's why I'm would love to hear some other ideas.
Yeah. And that's what they've currently got, is that they've got, it actually scared me when I opened it up. They've got the group interactive bit at the top. And I was like, oh, that in the exhibitor portal under the complimentaries made me cringe. But I mean, it's been working for them. But they've basically got logic that says they choose what sponsorship they've got, and then that takes them to the relevant page, which then gives them all the tickets and stuff to buy.
Yeah,
but
and generally it does work, and they can also through the portal like purchase their additional tickets. And look, 90% of the time it does link them to the group, but then I think we discussed it last week, we still have to manually go through and make sure that they're all linked to the group for their scanning.
Yeah, but there's the other problem that they're having is that they're having to kind of manually check that people don't go over their allocations because of the way that they've done it.
I think you're heading in the right direction using the exhibitor portal. We had a client that, depending on their status, Francie, gold will get 6 tickets, for example, to registration, and then a selection of social activities. And if memory serves correctly, I think it was a little bit manual, but we had to set up a whole bunch of discount codes, right, for each of those functions but the first bit was to tie them back to the exhibitor portal, right or wrongly. And so do you remember that, Trace? And we had to then manually maintain a big long list of particular discount codes. So once they exhausted their specific allocation, then they could continue to buy more, right, at whatever rate. But the first and foremost, they were in the system and they were attached to it. But it was a decent Excel list of discount codes for each individual, right? For each individual industry member, or I guess it sounds worse than it is. If you're only doing it for silver, gold, platinum, that sort of stuff, then perhaps a little manageable. But I remember this client had discount codes for every single industry member. It's like, what? Manually put them in, but it worked, right? Because you could register the individual, they'd be linked to the exhibitor portal, which means they had a registration. They'd get an auto email to say, make sure you come and check, update all your details via the interactive site. But the primary person could then also use that same code to not only for discount on registrations, but I think from memory, we were able to put functions in as well, Trace, right? We said different function tickets. So gold, $0, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. I think as well, like you could use group registration and get the main contact to do everyone. Like, you've got this many function tickets, you've got this many registrations, everyone in the same thing. But linking it into the exhibition portal doesn't really work because, it only, when you click on that link in the interactive, when you click on that link in the exhibitor portal, it allocates one person.
Yeah.
So the group stuff doesn't really work. So
exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I think that's why we've got the mixture of, you've got the function set up as like the exhibitor ticket, but then you've also got the how they set up events there originally. You've got the marketing of that actual ticket as well, which is how many. So then when you set up like the gold stand, they get 6 of this, but it's a marketing, which I think, look, I don't know, we've never had anyone over subscribe to it. And it's clunky, but it does kind of work. I'm happy to open it up if you want, and I can send it to you to have a look at or something.
Kind of intrigued.
But look, to be honest, I've also tried every year to change it, and then I have not been able to change it. So I kind of go, okay, it kind of works 90% of the time. Let's just keep going with it.
Yeah.
I also recall Fleur saying something about using packages.
She was talking about that last time or the time before about allocating packages.
Yes, so the
allocate,
allocation.
yeah,
is
so that
already
you
sitting-
know
Yeah,
what
does
tickets they
that-
have.
would
And
that
that's what I was wondering. Were you nodding, Sarah, using the group allocation portal?
I've done group allocation portal and I've done package, but I mean, I haven't done packages in like 5 years. So
Yeah, right.
I know that that was one of the things that they said to me because I didn't want to use the sponsorship portal.
Yeah.
And so we were talking about setting all of them up as packages, but I mean, we had very little sponsors
Yeah,
anyway.
right.
So, and now I just do it. It's just easier to do it by an email. As much as I hate doing it, and it goes against every grain in my body,
Yeah.
it's just like we just get them to register every person through the portal, and then send an email with all of their entitlements, and with those additional tickets, we get them to send us a list of names.
Yeah, right.
But messy. It's not what
Yeah.
you really want to be doing.
Mm.
And I
It does
have like,
actually ring a bell that Fleur said there's something that works in the sponsorship that she wished worked in the exhibitor portal, and I think it has something to do with this as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm just wondering because you can choose the different package, like the different elements that go into a package. So you can choose 2 registrations and 4 dinner tickets, and it just allocates them. Kind of as always, we want to combine the 2 and get one fantastic portal. The other thing that they were asking about is about getting a report that looks at the allocation versus what they've actually had, which again would be cool, but I can't think of any way to do it unless you looked at the, like Fleur said, adding those packages in and then what the reality of what had been. Yeah.
I think that's the sponsorship portal.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I think that's what the sponsorship portal does. Yeah. I don't think you can do that in the exhibition portal.
Yeah. So you
Unfortunately.
can do it.
I think so. I think that's what I've yeah. From what Fleur was saying, that's how the sponsorship portal differs, that you've got the allocation of all of the benefits
Yeah.
that you can check against.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if that includes registrations though. Were you specifically talking about
Yeah. You can add registrations as
yeah, you can add registrations for the
and
packages
functions.
and functions. Yeah. I
Interesting.
just can't remember how we then. I can't remember. Fleur, where are you?
Yeah, I reckon.
I thought you said that we'd be able to answer all the questions.
You've done
Okay.
you've done so well so far.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's some good suggestions.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thank you, everyone. At least it makes me feel better that everyone else struggles with it as well. Sometimes,
I reckon you do a hybrid of what Sarah said with your email.
yeah,
So keep your full registrations in the portal,
yeah,
and then
then
do
do
your
additional.
function people separate.
Yeah,
And don't even ask if you don't even ask for the full registrations in the portal, don't even ask them about functions. And then like do all of your functions in a group interactive site that just gets emailed to the main contact.
yeah, right.
And then you could possibly, I don't know if it's the same person, then you'd have to link them somehow. But
Yeah, but it should, if you use the same first name, last name,
Then it will match.
it
What
should
if
match
you
it.
what if you instead of doing additional registrations did what Tracy was saying, don't put social functions on it, build a stand type just for that, who gets like the 2 plus the 4, and instead of having additional registrations, have that as their function tickets.
Because they want additional registrations as
Oh.
well.
Well, no, they can't have that. They can't have
I know,
everything.
right?
What do they want from you?
But I'm just wondering, could you just put the functions, so like if they get 4 tickets, 4 dinner tickets, could you add the dinner tickets and have 2 for each person? So they go through one registration and they get the person who's registering plus their extra, and then they go through the second person and plus 1 extra. Doesn't
that's a
work.
good idea.
Got
I like
odd
that.
numbers. But then at least everyone's linked still.
Yeah, and you would set that as the package at the registration level, not
Yeah.
as the sponsorship level. That would make the most sense.
and you're not allowed to have any odd numbers. That just
No.
let them know that that's the new rule. It
That's the
has
new
to be
rule.
even
Yeah.
numbers.
Even numbers. Okay. Oh, there's a couple of suggestions. Thanks, guys. That's awesome.
Francie, you're going to set this up and come back to us and tell us what you eventually came up with to make it work?
Well,
It's got a bit of a Frankenstein vibe going to
I
it at the
know,
moment. If you took a
right?
little bit of everything that we just said,
Yeah.
it sounds like you're going to land on something, but I'm going to love to see what you land on to do it.
I'll have to find out if they'll let me know.
Kelly, were you about to add something to that? Oh, sorry. I thought you were getting ready to tell us this silver bullet solution.
I wish.
All right. Anyone else with anything super pressing? So, because Francie said that she'd posted it, it reminded me to go and check if anyone else had posted. And Catherine has been posting a bunch for several weeks, and I didn't realize at all. And I thought that I'd checked, but I hadn't. And so we've got a whole bunch of questions and some tips and things from Catherine, and so we can step through most of them now. There's a good tip here. Top tip: always add a tag code to your merge doc communications. Makes life easier when
that's a Dior thing.
Yeah.
Dior thing.
Keeping track of who has what info and who might not.
You know,
So
the
that's a good
number
one.
of times, because I do a lot of training with people, and I always, when I'm training, I'm like, do it. I don't know how to explain it, but just do it.
Yeah.
Because when you need it and you haven't done it, you can't add it.
See, I do it all the time, and I've never been in a situation, or no, that's not true. I've probably been in the situations, but I've never been able to get my head around when would I need to do it.
That I have that as well.
Okay, great, good. All of my emails have tag codes on them, but I've
had it when it's an easy way for when if you send, for example, a final information email out to everyone, and then you want to send it out to anyone who hasn't received it because you've had a bunch of registrations, you can go in and go, okay, I want to send this to everyone who hasn't received it previously. So you can exclude the people who've previously received it. That's the example that I usually give, but there are other times. I tell you what, next time I use it, I'll write it down and I'll share.
But you can do that without having a tag, I think.
You can. There are different ways of doing it, but there are ways that there are times where I have found it useful.
It's a little bit old school for sure. I remember when I first started doing it, if memory serves correctly, it was mostly around importing. Like I'd be bringing in from a third party a bunch of attendees and doing some sort of bulk update at the same time, right? And so the last thing you want to do is bring them in, and you've already got perhaps all your speakers in the system already. And so I think, if I think back, it's probably the main reason I was doing it. And then it just became habit, right? Every single time I do something, it's like, tag it. Every time a comms goes out, of course you can filter on a whole bunch of different other fields. But it just became, it didn't feel right. I felt dirty if I didn't do it.
This doesn't always apply, but you would have to say that, is there any reason not to do it? Is there any disadvantage?
That's right.
It takes like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Once you get over not being able to uncapitalize, because that's what I always want to do.
Yeah.
Then it takes 2 seconds and it's there. Like Sarah said, it's always there. And if you don't use it, then that's fine. But
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that as the events got bigger and bigger and there was more people in the system, I also found that when I was, looking across a database, I just knew that if I was searching for something, and it was probably around a little bit, I always struggled a bit with the auditing. You can only see so much in EA and then you're kind of lost, right? You get to a roadblock. It's like, who did what? Well, I can kind of see something happen here, but then it stops, right? And so when there's more fingers in the pie and, extra fields are being added or a status has been changed because we've got some other activity happening, I could always fall back on, particularly on the comms, adding a marketing tag to it just meant that I could very, very quickly search on my activity, irrespective of what someone else did in the system. So I think I'll keep doing it unless someone tells me not to. I think it's safe.
Yeah, that's the point. There's no reason not to. So
I have played around. I had a need where needing to generate some particular reports. So this is the thing. Often on these calls now, as we talk about things, I think about it from an API point of view. It's kind of where I go to straight away, and part of that is only because sometimes of a lack of knowledge of some of the reports. Because I've had API access for so long, but now I didn't have marketing tags access, and now I do. And so that was like, oh man, to be able to it actually takes a long time, particularly when you've got a big attendee list, and then you're asking for all the marketing tags of everyone. It does take some time to get it, but once I have it, the reports that I can create then reference other things like functions or presentations or sessions or whatever it is, as well as marketing tags, is it's pretty amazing. And so when I think of it like that, I like having those extra marketing tags because it means for more filtering, So it's cool. She said another one on, honestly, she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 across a few weeks. I'm so sorry, Catherine.
I was going to say, we owe an apology.
Continuing to post. I know.
She's boycotting now because we didn't respond. It's like,
yes, right. Don't worry about it then. Yeah. And I think she may be in a different time zone that doesn't work, and that's why.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's in the UK. Catherine B, yeah?
Well, yeah, boiling.
Oh,
I might be. Hopefully, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's in the UK.
UK.
I think so too.
Yeah,
but
UK.
She may have an alter ego on Facebook or something. Maybe, I don't know, or whatever. Anyway, it's probably the same person. Sorry, because for a couple of weeks I was talking about, hey, post your questions and then we'll just answer them, even if you can't come. And then she posted the questions and we didn't look at them, but we are now, and so it's good. So merge docs. Best tips, please, for ensuring that they get past junk spam filters using / not using a custom domain. And does anyone else have issues where the branding doesn't download? Thanks. So I can say a couple of things on this because it's a moving target, right? Because it's all about spam filtering, and as soon as particularly spammers work out what the filtering is, then they work around it. And so then the spam filters have to update. And so it's constantly moving. So reputation is one thing, domain reputation. And so, which is a pretty complex thing that works on the servers to sort of say the open rates that happen and the clicks that happen from an email all help to increase the reputation for the domain name. And so eventsairmail.com, which is the default, you could argue both ways on this, I think. You could argue that it has a lot of reputation because a lot of people are using that domain. And so arguably it's a great one to use, that it's likely to get through more spam filters because it has a good reputation. Because particularly with events, events generally have a very good open rate and click-through, right? Because it's technically a transactional email. It's not a marketing email. Marketing emails generally have terrible open rates and click-throughs, right? And so when you're doing lots of marketing emails, you tend to get the reputation may well go down, depending on how often it is and things, because people aren't opening them. They see it, they delete it, they're not opening, that sort of thing. Generally around events, people are. And so it would stand to reason that eventsairmail.com would have good reputation. However, lots of people in the events industry abuse, the email system and send a whole bunch of marketing emails out through Events Air, and that can be a problem. So there's that side to it. So you can use a custom domain and you set up the send grid and you do a whole bunch of jump through lots of hoops to try to make all that work. And that can work, and then you start building the reputation for its own domain. And that all sort of plays into it. A whole nother part of it is the content itself. And so lots of spam filters are looking for marketing buzzwords or like things that are eliciting, soliciting different, actions and activities and selling things and whatever. And there's certain words and phrases and things that it's looking for, and it will send it to spam based on that. And there are a couple of systems online, just free systems. You can put the body of your email text into it and it'll tell you whether that's spammy or not. Lots of us might be using ChatGPT or similar to write some of these, or to expand them or start them, to write a draft for you. And you could say that you're really looking for it to be resistant as much as possible to spam filtering. So then the last thing on the images is that if it does get flagged as spam, it's likely to not download the images, the branding images at that time, because it's trying to protect it. In that there could be, if it's malicious, then loading the images could be a problem in itself, and that's why it holds off on the images. So that's all from kind of external to Events Air. That's the world we live in with spam filtering. And so it is a moving target. The best thing that we can do is minimize how many emails we're slamming people with, to make them sound, to be really clear about the we talked about this before about having shorter is better, with emails, that people aren't reading 15 paragraphs of text, to finally get to a link right down on the bottom. Things like that. I think bigger emails make it worse, but that's my nerdy hat on about spam. Is there?
Grant, are you saying it's better to do smaller, succinct emails and a couple of them rather than doing one big ass email and sending them tons?
Well, I think it's the probability of it, of the copy being flagged as spam. Right. If there's less text and things. But if it was just about less text, then we wouldn't get we would see all those spam messages that we get with a single line in it. And this is what I mean by the moving target. Spammers are doing the same thing. They're sending huge emails or small emails, and so it's constantly moving.
The other way. Sorry.
I was just adding to that. I kind of like the idea of smaller, straight to the point emails, because we know, with all due respect, it seems to be our delegates are reading less and less. And so just get to the point and they're more likely to respond. But I know our marketing people, as I'm saying that, are going, we've got to hit them with everything building up to the event and, start to generate some pre-event excitement. So they want to pepper them with a whole bunch of other stuff. But there is a lot of info we've got to share. Maybe the key is striking the balance between the number of emails and how much you can put online, like on a interactive site or a website or something.
I was also going to say making sure that you've got a clean database.
Yeah.
The other one, if you are sending out, because as soon as you start getting duplicates and stuff, that's something that flags.
Yep.
Yeah, right. I was always wondering about that. There's always been two schools of, don't worry about the duplicates. And of course, we come from a data perspective. It's like, are you kidding me? Duplicates are the devil. Get rid of them all. But you're right. It does actually play into potential problems with spam.
Yeah, which also leads into the challenges of the exhibition portal. When you've got a lead contact, and if they're attending, then they kind of, in some cases, need their own record. In some cases, they need
You know, the only time I really like duplicates is post-event on the on-demand portal. When you're a speaker or a role and you want to go back and check out some recording, to get that experience for them is terrible because they've got to click a few times, right, to get to the recording. Whereas every other delegate, it's there. It's nice, presented up neatly, and they don't have to do too much once they hit the session. But for a speaker, it's like, now click over here and open this up. It's just really, really clumsy. I'd love EA to change that because
Or
at
make
the
it
end of
just
the
more clear that, like it is an easy process, but you have to tell them how to
it's super
change it.
easy, but they
Yeah,
just
so I
don't want to
guess it
do
would
it.
be better if
Yeah.
it was clearer on the actual video or something.
Yeah.
To swap to present. What is it? Delegate view or present? I can't remember.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
I think
it's
Presenter
called
view
delegate view.
and I can't. There's
I think it's all about what the default view is. I think the default view should be the attendee view. And then if you want to click through and get into, answering questions or, whatever it is, seeing poll results or whatever, all that, then that's a click away. But the default view should be the attendee view.
Don't you find it hilarious that you have like a double view in On Air, but not in the attendee app?
Yeah.
So I just thought that as you were saying that, I'm like, God, that wouldn't be, yeah. Sorry, that
No.
musings.
No. Yes,
But
that's true.
I just want to make a comment, Dior. I agree with you so much about like less comms and putting more things on your website because like we find speakers, they never go back to that portal. Once they've submitted their synopsis, that's it. They don't want to ever go back. But then, and you'll send them a lovely comms with what you need to do, and none of them read it. So
yeah,
we've just gone to now just putting it on the website and just, I think it worked much better.
it's easy to
this year.
manage.
Yeah.
It's easy to manage. If you can get clever and put something in there that's of value, I don't know, something simple like for speakers, a template download. Now they are going back to the website, or they've got to retrieve something or do something on the website, so you're actually seeing some traffic going through it. But yeah, I like that. We've got another platform we use for content management. I know exactly when they've clicked on it, right? So when I'm sending out the upload link, not only do I send them the comms from that system that's got a API running between EA, but I know when they've clicked on it and then it says it's been clicked on. Then I know when they've actually clicked further and gone into it and actually read the email because it gives me another status update and a timestamp. That information's gold when you're trying to manage, presentations and the like. So need a bit more of that, EA. Come on. If not, we're going to send more emails and get more spam.
Yeah, that's right. So a tip on this, it's not necessarily about spam, but just the emails in general, is that logging into the SendGrid account, so you get your details to be able to do this, and then specifically the reply to email for the bounces, because you really want to capture the bounces that happen, which inevitably happen for people that have put their email in incorrectly. Is this news to you, Sarah?
This is news to me. I use SendGrid all the time. I didn't know that you could do this. Oh,
yeah.
See, every week, new tip.
There you go. Yeah. So yeah, there's a bounce. There's a couple of different reasons that it can send you an email, and often it's a bounce. And I was just looking at so what we use is a support ticket system. So for support, so that we're not just monitoring an email account. We have a ticket system so that multiple people can look at it, and that's where our bounces go. That way, we can see them as they come in, and I can see there's like about 10 that I was just looking at then from a comms that just went out. And it's just, and sometimes it's like they're, typical bounces where you get the users' mailboxes full, or, you don't see that very often now, but it does happen. But generally it's just a spelling error. This user doesn't exist, or this domain doesn't exist, or whatever it is. And so I don't care about street address when we're capturing registration information, but I do like a cell phone number, mobile number. You can tell that I talk on American podcasts regularly. Using I switch and change between all the different words. As I said, cell phone, but capturing the mobile number is handy because you just want a second form of communication. So you can say, "Hey, sometimes it's obvious. You look at their email address and they've put letters around the wrong way, and they're from some organization you're aware of. You switch it around and away it works. But if you don't, you can text them and say, "Hey, I think we got your email wrong. This is going to be a problem for the whole event."
I think that the challenge that we personally have with that is co-presenters, because the way that the co-presenter using program submissions, I don't think that you can pull mobile, like the way that the fields pull, it's different to everything else.
Yeah, because they're an author. They don't have. If they're an author that doesn't have a full contact, then they don't have a full contact record. They're just a name and an association.
Yeah, but they're ticking that they're going to come and that this person is presenting. And so
Right.
then you're kind of like, I need to contact this person and I don't actually have any contact detail, like usable contact details. And I'm pretty sure you can get like first name, last name, title, organization, email address. I think that's it.
You should be able to get their mobile number for the co-presenters.
Can you?
You just need to, yeah, I think you need to set it to create a new contact, and then that mobile field appears.
Available.
It works for mine, but then you still can't contact them though. Like even if you set it to send to those co-presenters, it just doesn't
because
it
doesn't
it's like,
do it.
nah.
Yeah. Okay, maybe because I've hidden a fair few of the fields because I was getting people filling things in and it wasn't, because you can't put like a drop down for title or anything like that. It meant the data we had to clean and all of that stuff. So I might have a look at that then. Thank you. Good to know, Kelly.
That's an
Should have asked you before.
Yeah, I mean the alternate email is another thing, of course, not with co-presenters either, but that's another thing that can be handy too sometimes, is having a secondary email to be able to contact them. But
we've put that now we put that now as on all of our registration forms, because we were finding, because we're a member-based organization, they were using one email and not the other, and they were getting confused. So now we're just giving them, do you have another one that you want to contact for all? It's just so much easier.
Yeah. And there's some that just don't have easy access to their work email, but they have their Gmail on their phone. And now you just give us both and it'll log in with either, that is nice. But anyway, SendGrid set up the reply to. All right. That was that one. Thanks, Catherine, not only for posting these, but filling in this week's content for us. You've got some great ones here. That's a good one. I would love some intel of run sheets. Is there any value in using them? The scope of event I run seems that the time to set up would outweigh any benefit at the other side, or am I missing a huge trick? Thanks. Anyone using run sheets? Yes.
Specifically the EA run sheets?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. God, no.
Yeah, okay.
I thought that you were just going on site without a run sheet. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh, no, yeah.
No run sheets. I was actually amazed. I was like, I'm ready to listen to Sarah talk about EA run sheets.
Yeah, she's using EA run sheets. That's amazing.
I have done EA run sheets in the past, and the time that it takes to set up outweighs the benefit of it. Exactly what she's saying. Really good, but
do you put projects in the same bucket, Sarah?
Yes. Yep.
See, I'm dying to use them. I think there's value in there.
And we were dying to use them as well. We ended up getting the spreadsheet to be able to import it in, and we did it all. And then just by the time that you uploaded it, because you had to go in and like each line, and I get why you have to do it, but because you can't like apply to all or anything like that, and you have to do each one.
Yeah.
Like everyone's, projects here would be, mine
Epic.
is, it's massive.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I found them both a massive waste of time. We set it up once and then you never used it.
Yeah,
I
it
think
looks like a great tool, but then
It
when you dive
does.
in, because you think, oh, it's all in one, it's all in the same,
Auto
all the
notifications.
information can come
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
The only place that I'd heard, and this was pre-COVID, when I was trading, was that it can be useful for, like, if you've got volunteers, to then give them tasks
Mm.
and you give them access to the organizer app to so that then they know what they're doing without having to like be at you, and then they can mark off when they've done things. I don't know if it's I've never used it myself, but yeah, that was the only thing that I thought, oh, that could be quite useful, so that people kind of external to the team,
Yeah.
it's a way to like get that information to them so that they've all got it on their phone. I don't know.
What if we looked at it through the lens of you don't have last year's epic spreadsheet that you can duplicate and that's got half the work done for you, you're just updating it or whatever the case may be, or a template that you've been working on for years that's just so highly tuned, and you started fresh because you're keying that stuff in anyway. And I'm a solid believer in key it once, use it many, and make it available to everyone. And so that's where I sit on the fence. It's like, man, I can just use our own existing platforms or spreadsheets for run sheets and get it done in a fraction of the time. So I can't justify the time. Sounds like you guys feel the same way. But if you came from it, I've actually got to start from fresh and put it all in there. And maybe it comes with an expectation of a few tweaks to make it a little more user-friendly. I reckon I'd persevere and give it a crack, because the information share on site through the organizer app and other things like that has some real potential value, I think. And I love the idea of giving it to volunteers or people on site where you're not going to give them your full run sheet. Like that's crazy. So give them just their sheet and they can change all those different views. I think has got value. Just show me my important ones, or what's the status of where I'm up to on doing a room turnaround or whatever. And then it sends auto notifications to everyone. That's so cool.
I think
clone? Sorry, does it clone?
Does it clone?
I think so.
I think it did, yeah.
I would just be really interested, as I always am, like, why did Events set it up the way that they did? I feel like that would help me then want to maybe use it some more, because it was very like it's not linked to, from my memory, you have to set each person up. So it's actually not linked to any person's EA account, which I just really annoyed me. And then I'm pretty sure you have to set them up twice, once in project and once in run sheet.
No, it's either or.
No? It is?
And you can link them to an Eventsia account.
Yeah, but like, just give me the...
Still, yeah. I've just had a look and I can't see that you can import. Sorry, clone.
You can't clone, you can import. Yeah.
You can import. So I assume you'd be able to export.
So you export it from a previous, and in away you go. And I think if I'm reading this correctly, if your team members are in the system, I could see a full list of names in there of existing EA users, but anyone that's not, you definitely have to recreate them, Sarah.
That might have been,
yeah.
I haven't done it since like 2018, 2019.
I'm telling you, putting the challenge out there, someone's got to use this bad boy and report back.
Yeah. Where's it going to be?
I'll give it to Renee in my team. Go set it up. Have fun. Here's my 650 tasks.
We ran into a problem. It's made me think about looking at it again, Dior. But because I remember we ran into a problem when Tracy, we looked at it as well, right? We really tried to like assign tasks all in there, and then and then we just hit roadblocks.
We had a meeting with one of our clients about it. We tried to get them to Yep. It
was close. Look, and Sarah, I think it's a great question. It's what were they thinking? What was the aim behind it? And I can only assume that it's like the idea of going paperless is quite exciting. And to have a single source of truth and to be more dynamic, because I assume that most people, I mean, how many events are not ran on Excel in some way, right? Like not many. I was in Amsterdam and was talking to event managers, and the event of 3,000 people, running on Events Air. And I was in there, I'm looking at the whole thing, and I'm talking to the event manager, and I just said, so are you putting all your sessions and presentations into Events Air? And I said, no, we just do it in Excel.
What?
Like, wow. Yeah. Like a totally separate way of doing it. And we were just talking to someone recently that uses Events Air, but has as many as 20 concurrent sessions and just needs to do it in Excel, and they have all these processes in Excel to be able to create a program that they can use and stuff. So it's quite common, but I think the same then goes with run sheets and things, is that it's like it just doesn't quite cut it. And as far as I can gather, when James has spoken about roadmap, this sort of stuff that is potentially covered by other third-party systems, project management systems, Asana or that other one, Twilio, not, I don't know.
Monday?
Yeah, there's Monday. Yeah, there's a few different ones, but I think they're more likely to build integration between the two systems and then have people use that than they are to spend a lot more time in developing out this thing. But doesn't mean that it might not be useful in some places. But
well, I was going to say, I do know, Catherine, when you're listening back to this, and Melissa, I'm really sorry for dobbing you into this, but I know that Melissa and the Clean Energy Council team do use run sheets. Yes, they use run sheets. They were at one point in time. So she would probably be your person to ask.
Right. I'm going to hang out with her.
Melissa,
I'm going to do it. I want to use it.
Yeah.
I want to use it.
She's fun.
I mean, I've got an event here that I've imported. Looks like 300 or 400 lines. And just flipping through the views, show me by location, show me by team member, by date. And then you think about some of the existing functionality in the system, the status updates, the auto notification. It just screams opportunity to me. I wonder if you could use beacons. So when the staff member signs on and they go to stall, the beacon automatically signs their timesheet. Might be getting ahead of myself, but nonetheless.
Nice.
I'll talk about beacons later. Put that on your list, Grant.
This is some. Oh yeah, that's right.
I'd love to kick that around.
So you can talk about that now. You've brought it up now.
No. Far be it
we're
for me.
Keep going.
Keep going with the list.
All right, you guys mentioned concurrent sessions in episode 2. we're going back some. She might not even care about this anymore. It's that long ago. Can you do a deeper dive into the pros and cons of using / avoiding them in terms of presentation management and the different digital agenda options? I mentioned concurrent sessions.
Yeah, that'd be me.
Yeah, you were saying
I hate concurrent sessions.
The only way, now that you've got access to everything, I reckon the only way that they are useful is when you need to get people to choose, because then it has the radio buttons for concurrent, so people can't choose sessions at the same time.
Yeah, I use it for that.
Yeah, but in terms of just general setup, I don't see any benefit, because you can just use a normal session and tracks, and it's a whole lot less stuff to set up.
The problem with that is the timings along the side. Ever issue of timings.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know what you could possibly mean, Sarah.
Yeah.
No. Francie, I haven't been talking about this for a good 8 years. Never.
I've got a client who every year they get me to do their agenda setup. And they have this particular client that they use. They have 30, what is it? half-hour sessions, no, 1 hour sessions, hour and a half sessions, and 3 hour sessions, all going at the same time. And so the times on the side of that look insane.
And I
It's
think
just nasty.
Because they're different at the same
So you'll
time.
have like 9 till 10, and you'll have, oh no, maybe it was 45 minutes. That's right, it's 45
Yeah,
minutes.
right.
So you chunk. So 9 till 9:45, 9:45 till 10:30, and then there'd be a 9 till 10:30, and then be a 9 till 12. And there were each version of that on the left-hand side.
And I guess that's the way it looks. Like, you go concurrent, and it's the same. Like, we might have a session. That one session goes from 12:30 to 2:30, but then the workshop only goes from 12:30 to 1:20. So then it creates all these lines, and
it's actually the one time that I have had the agenda labels on the agenda, the concurrent session labels, because that actually helps, because you can say 3 hour session, so when people are looking along. And it's the only time as well that we compacted, so they had like 17 tracks, because they had all of the 45-minute ones together, all the hour and a half, and then all the 3 hours. And we actually compacted everything so that there were different length things in the same track, but just so that it looked better on the agenda. So there were all these big gaps. So
I don't understand why we can allocate them to concurrent sessions like as columns, but then we can't add them as rows as well. So we can span tracks, but we can't span concurrents. That's like, that would be problem solved basically in agenda building.
Have the presentation continued.
Correct.
That's so good.
Or coding, and code all of the colors so it's going just continuously.
Yeah, that still didn't work well for me.
Yeah, no, it didn't work well for me either.
Yeah, it looked really nice though.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you. Did I know we've started doing using keywords and putting so that the first keyword is the length of the presentation. That worked better this year.
Oh, good idea.
So are they really concurrent, or are they just other sessions running simultaneously that have different times?
No, they're concurrent, because they're all, it's a concurrent, like they are 5 concurrent presentations. It's just within that concurrent session, there is different presentation lengths. So orals are, 10, 20. Mine was great. I had to build it out in 10-minute blocks, because I had 10-minute rapids, 20-minute orals, an hour workshops, and then 2-hour like skill building session. It was just.
And that was sessions. So you were doing 10-minute sessions.
I do sessions,
right?
I won't use the concurrents, because it doesn't. People want to see the name of the presentation when they look at the program on the website. They don't want to click through. One day, the day that Events Air fix that, I will be in the fetal position crying.
But
so excited.
It's weird, because you can, like, it would just be like, instead of having every single, it'd just be like a quick summary of like the presenter name and their title, their topic, not their full bio and everything else. If it just in that session, you could have, and look, we have used it like as an overview,
manual,
but then that's another thing, manual thing. You have to, so it would be almost like they already have the overview, which would be perfect if when you put in your your roles as a presenter, if that could somehow then carry over to the overview field, which shows up on the app, shows up on I'm pretty sure it shows up on most things, the overview.
On the app, you need to go into it's like the second screen, I think. You need to like click through.
Yeah, you've got to go click on the thing and then go to session details to actually get the useful information.
And this just goes back to, people building pillarless, ballrooms. They don't consult the right people. It's the same thing.
So, I mean, not to tease you with.
Oh, stop! You need to stop doing this. You did this last year.
I know, but
it's unfair.
I know, and I'm actually just seeing because Lisa,
That's what we want. That's what you want.
I was trying to see if that's what you were talking about. So it has the role with the names, and then it has the presenters. And so then if you click on it, then you get their presentation titles. But just as a summary, you're seeing who is in there.
Yeah.
See, we need it with all the presentation titles listed, because that's what ours are looking for.
I get that. I just think it's a lot of text, right?
It is.
Like, and so I guess
just happy with the speakers.
Yeah. So that's what we're trying to achieve here is both, so that you could search for someone and they'll come up, or search for their name. And so by searching for it, you can see that it's there, and that's all the sessions.
And it's kind of like, what's more important, the presentation or the presenter?
Yeah. And sometimes those titles can be huge, right? Like this one. And so fitting that all in is a challenge. But it makes sense if it's for printing, or that, you know, they want that sort of, or just being able to glance over it without interacting with it at all, in a sense. That sounds like what you're talking about, is being able to.
It's literally that.
Yeah.
And I think that it is for printing, and also for like proof of presentation for some of them.
Right. Yeah, so for something, this is a tricky one. We're talking about concurrence, was like something that has, you can see all of these are 90 minutes sessions, because they're all workshops. So you're talking about the down the side. I find it all really intriguing, because when you can build it however you want, which is what I'm playing with, it's like, well, how do you want it? You know, it's like, what is the most obvious way to
and how does that translate from laptop to mobile?
To show 18, to show 18 concurrent sessions. What's the best
18
way
concurrents
of
is just, it's massive. And none of them will ever work properly on mobile.
It's really tricky, because I mean, you can see we've played around a lot with trying to make it so something like this that will then just go down to one session on mobile, you know, so that works okay, and the search works all right. But yeah, it is an ongoing battle. It's like, what is the optimal way of viewing a large event on a mobile device? I don't know, you know, and that's why we do big screens around the place as well, at the tops of escalators and things. Big screen, walk up to it, see the layout of what's happening right now, and see it all nice and wide. And, you know, that type of thing, I think, is still necessary. But it's different times, isn't it? It's like, you want to look at the program 3 months out and kind of plan a little bit, and then you want to look at it the day before for the next day, and then you want to look at it right now, what's happening live now. And it's sort of these different views.
Yeah, and I think that's what Fleur was like, what is the most important to you? Is it more important that pre or in the app? Because you need to make decisions, and that then changes. I know that Kelly and I have had many conversations about it, just because I think we have similar delegate profiles. So whereas Lisa, I know, is completely different again. Like, she can get away with concurrence. I can't. It's frustrating.
Oh, but it doesn't look pretty. It still does not look. Yeah. And I guess it would be, you know, I think, you know, it's great, Grant, that you've got that, because it's an API that you're doing that through. Yeah. And I guess it would be really interesting for Events Air to see, well, how many people are running concurrence? Like, is this something they need to really invest in building this agenda? Because most of the times when I've gone to them and said, oh, you never know, it's might different this year, they're like, oh, it just doesn't, it's just not meant for that. And it's like, well, how many people that have events there are using it because they've got so many concurrents? Is this something they really need to? Anyway, I think I'm invited to a lunch. You going to that lunch in Melbourne soon, Sarah? Maybe that'll be my thing I'll bring up.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. I think that I need to go because, like, I want to sit down and be like, you've said that I'm welcome to come and tell you what my problems are. So please pull up a chair and let me tell you my story. We'll go together, Lisa. We'll walk in united.
I remember the concurrence back in the on air when for that period of time where we all jumped straight into it. The concurrent feature, I liked the way it displayed in on air, sort of grouped everything together and made it a little easier for the delegates as they pivoted very quickly. And when we work with programs that are very structured on their time, so that the variation of times is minimal, I still find it easy, particularly when I have to move 18 concurrent sessions by 15 minutes for whatever reason. It's just one field change, everything updates instantly. So there was a few things like that, but I'm definitely hearing and seeing the examples you're giving of why it just wouldn't work for you for those reasons.
I disagree. I would prefer on air if it looked like the agenda builder and it looked like a concurrent. Like,
Yeah.
I think like we don't do our whole 12 concurrents. We live streamed and recorded 6. But it's even still, you've got to scroll down. Like, I just wanted it this way,
Fair enough.
But I don't know. I don't know whether they'll on air they'll still be running, I guess, but they're not using the Aircast studio that's been debunked.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
did we give her an answer? We gave her a lot to think about.
Well, yeah. Yeah, well, and it's terminology is everything too, right? Because you talk about concurrent sessions is functionally what's happening, as in it's actually happening at the same time. It's concurrent, but it's also a term within Events Air that I think, generally, Dior, we don't use them as concurrent sessions. We just use them as separate tracks, right? Or workshops.
Yeah, you do.
Workshops are all tracks.
Yeah. I don't think we set up the concurrent blocks.
Yeah, we do.
No.
Concurrent blocks is where you set it up and then you drag the presentations into that block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you select the time, you can say choose concurrent session 1, 2, 3, and it inherits
and it locks to that time.
But it's got an override, right? So if any one of them there's an exception, you can click on the override box to change that.
Anyway, everything's different, and I think to the heart of what people need to see depends a lot on the event and how varied the presentations within a session can be. So Sarah, it sounds like that could be quite varied for yours.
No. See, they definitely this is the one piece of advice that I always give to my program committee is it actually doesn't matter if you put things in themes. People will still complain that you haven't themed it correctly. All of ours are themed. And I did it the first year that I started here because I did I even build it? I didn't have time, and I built I built it out as concurrent blocks just to make it a bit quicker, and they hated it. And I was like, oh, well, looks like I'm going, because they can't see the present. I want to know what the presentation title is. I want to be able to print my program early so that I can circle my things and then come and know I'm looking exactly for this presentation. So concurrent blocks was never going to work.
And so you have people moving around all through sessions then, because they'll jump from one presentation to another?
Yep. Some will stay in the same room for the whole time, but a lot of them just move.
Wow. Yeah.
Which is annoying.
Yeah. Well, and
it's
I guess
understandable if the session's like 2 hours or something, they want to move, but they can also just have to plan out a bit. And I think that's what we've been trying to highlight is like you can't turn up on site and expect that you're going to know which, your delegate has to do some work in planning. That's what we've really tried to be honing in. Like, you know, it's like when you sit down to watch Netflix, most of the times you've got, you know, you've already added some shows and things. So it's using that analogy of like, before you get on site, just start to, and hope that it stays in my agenda on the app, that it, you know, like, instead of you then getting on site and looking at all of the whole program, you're looking at, everyone's laughing because that happens. Yeah. There's lovely delegates that have gone to all that time planning and putting it in my agenda. They turn up on site, oh, it's all gone.
Or the app just doesn't work at all.
Yeah.
That was good fun. That was
that
a
out there.
highlight. That was so good.
We've been very early stages, been toying with AI. Kind of ties into the My Agenda thing, right? So Lisa, all that planning you're talking about, no one's got the time for that. So if you said, I really like to hear Dior or talking about this or that, you just highlight a couple of bits and then let the AI thing, okay, you're going to be needing 15 minutes to get from exhibition hall over to here, and then you're going to go over to there and you've got a one-on-one meeting, and let the AI functionality create the My Agenda bit.
Lisa, you're already doing that, aren't you?
That's pretty cool.
We do something where we, so when they register, obviously we get a lot of data of what stream they're interested in, and you know what level of the profession they're at. And so we did go out this year and say, hey, this is what AI thought you should do as a program. Cool. More just challenging them to go and have a look first up. But if that was integrated into the, imagine that.
That'd
you
be
get
so
on
good.
site, you say, you know, it already has all of your information and it just designs one. Wow.
Yeah. There was an app
sitting here in 5 years' time, hopefully, and it'll be like done.
There was something at IMAX I remember going to, and once you organised all your meetings, I can't remember the name of the app, but it did something similar where, because you've got to get from one meeting to the next with next to no time, it's like grab your croissant and coffee and run. It's such a big venue. They had an app that did that really well, and it even gave you a little dot, follow the bouncing ball type dot around the exhibition floor, so you could navigate your way across there. So they're out there, but yes, I think something built in there. Do you know, as I think about AI, going back to the overview, if you've already put your presentations in and you've already got some key informational subject titles and themes and sub-themes, it's a no-brainer. Let AI create a short, succinct paragraph of an overview based on the data set. Why do we need to type it in? Like, that's just an obvious enhancement that would be super cool. Suddenly the overview would be coming to its own.
And maybe that's something, instead of us giving them, you know, the program as such, do we just go back to giving them an Excel spreadsheet that then they can put into AI themselves? That, you know, because at the moment, you know, that PDF, I don't think they would be able to probably put that into, there's probably not enough data. Whereas if you gave them like the raw Excel data, then they could be empowered to do it themselves.
Interesting.
Yeah, so my head goes to getting that just in the app, you know, so that it's just a button on the app and then you interact with it there.
You know how to use the API. Go on.
It all starts in the head. You see,
watch this space.
You gotta. It's right.
The whiteboard comes out.
Ruminates. Yeah, that's right. Ruminates for a while, and then we start playing around with it. Well, but I think there's definitely something there. But yeah, the AI generated overviews, when it has all the names and it has all the presentation titles, that could be interesting, because that at least reduces it. You can have it at a certain character length or something, and
just making sure that it updates if people pull out.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, that's the beauty of it, right? Because it is AI generated, it'll automatically adjust. See how easy I make it sound?
Yeah, that's right.
Just do that.
just turn that on.
AI is always perfect. Like, it'll never say the wrong thing.
There's 4 more questions, but I think, Catherine, it's my fault that we didn't get to them all, but we will next week. So there's some about finance and EA pay as well. So that's a good one. We'll get everyone talking about that one. So if it's okay, she's not here to say it's not okay. But we'll do it. We'll do it next week. But please, Catherine, particularly, and anyone else that's not able to join us live, feel free. Just hit the link that you go to for the dashboard, and there's a button there to ask a question, and you can just post it there. And I promise, next week,
if you want to listen to us all muse for an hour.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Well, if
Well,
Fleur's watching this recording, big thank you to Fleur for getting rid of the red triangle from the abstract portal. Have you tried it yet, Sarah?
No, I started doing it. I was like listening to Grant before, and I'm like, no, this needs my concentration. I'm going to stop building it.
Oh, that one's an old one. I keep having to get the script from people, and because
I guess this is the thing, is we're sharing it all in this group, and Flair knows it and that. But I'm sure I've asked multiple times EA support for, like, is there a code? No,
really?
no. Yeah.
I was actually wondering whether there's a way in the Facebook group to add like a documents that we could have like script kept so that you don't have to scroll through trying to find, because that's one thing I'm like, I know that someone talked about this and I can't remember what to refer to it.
I can hear EA like pulling their hair out as we say, let's share our scripts together.
Yeah. Just these little ones.
EAHacks.com.
Yeah.
That's what I put in for I did a submission last year to present at the conference, and I called it, I've got a script for that. And I wasn't accepted.
So surprising.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
I love it.
That's great. All right. Well, well, I mean, Facebook's not super conducive to doing that, but the dashboard for AirHeads is super easy to do that.
Yeah.
And so, we could start gathering a few and just put them all there.
I just think
all of a sudden your subscribers will like quadruple.
Yeah. But I think in particular for things that are like the red triangle, that it's a super easy fix. I actually have a folder in my emails called script/useful, where I save all of those things. So the only thing is that I know that they're trying to get away from us doing this. And I know that there are some things that have changed. So like, I think I had something for the red triangle and it doesn't work anymore because of what they're doing. So that's the only challenge. But if it's there, if someone's got it, then the theory is that it can be done.
What was the whole thought with the red triangle? Like,
it's to do with,
it shows up shows up when you finished doing something. So it looks like you haven't done something. It's to do with the process.
In Eventia, because of the way that the presentation portal was built, it was built on the process of I submit a presentation, my presentation's reviewed, the editors then allow me to make edits, and that can be automated. And so the red triangle is to alert you to the fact that there are edits, that you can make edits to your presentation, to your submission. And it's to do with the in the presentation portal. I haven't got one that I can open up and show you, but in the presentation portal, there's the something about the presentation status being set to.
If this, then
yeah. And so the first one you've got to set to submitted. So what completes the process, or when someone completes the process, what is it? You put submitted. If you don't want them to be able to edit their submission, then you just leave it. But if you do want people to be able to do edits up until a submission date, then you just you make them both submitted.
But then you get the red triangle.
Because it's telling you, oh, look, you can allow.
The logic's actually sound, right? From a designer point of view, it's like
100%. And because it's built, that's why I've like ingrained the process into my head, because I have to explain it every time the triangle is there.
Was that hard to train people on? Francie, like, this is why it needs to do it that way. Don't argue with
it.
Or you just put the code in and hit it.
because I know that there's code to hide it. and a lot of the time, the people that I've worked with have just done like a submit and that's it. So I just don't set that second option, and then the red triangle doesn't come up, but they can't make any edits.
Yeah.
So that's why I've not had to deal with it too much. But yeah, I've just had it a couple of times recently. I'm like, yep, need that script.
I didn't realize, I missed that part. I didn't realize they did a script on it. It's good.
Yeah.
On a handful of events that we have opened the abstracts up so they can change it, I don't remember getting much pushback from the delegates or from the authors submitting. Maybe I'm shielded by the client who's dealing with all those calls, perhaps, but I don't recall having any pushback, mostly because it was all new for this particular client and their authors. So they just ignored those little things, whereas to us, that little red triangle was like, it's killing me, turn it off.
The other thing that bugs me just is it's a little rant about the abstract portal, and there's many, but the one is that every time you hit the new abstract button, it creates a draft. That I'm
And
like,
then you end up with like 15.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, because the number of I hit that instead of edit, and I'm like, oh, there goes another one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yes, it would be good for us to share some of those. So we can come and have a
We call it Francie's favorites or something like that. Just come
No.
with some cute...
I'm working for Events Air. I don't want to get in trouble with them.
Fair enough. We'll come up with another cute name for it.
I mean, it's helpful for the support guys, because then there's fewer people going to them asking for scripts.
Yeah, I always love when I go to them and I'm like, hey, I'm after a script for blah, blah. And they're like, oh, no, you can't do that. I'm like, no, I know that you can. I just can't find my script. Can you go? Ask someone?
No, I know you can.
Yeah. We've just
can.
had one to hide the word count on the
What?
presentation portal.
No, wait, I've already got that one.
Yeah. Because we wanted to have two different, a workshop and an abstract submission using the same portal, but we only wanted one abstract document. So we made the whole thing 450 words, but the abstracts were only 200. We just hid the total word count.
I think I've done that.
Nice.
It's just like an inspect, isn't it? Like a script. And I just did like the inspect and then the display
CSS.
none.
Oh, okay. See, this is, I know, maybe I'm like, I don't know if I want to delve down the road of knowing that stuff.
Oh no, it's pretty. It's just like it's just a pretty like display non-important. I think.
Lots of that is just CSS. Yeah, it's just style sheets. It's just style. So it's not actually like it is code, but it's not changing anything from a JavaScript point of view. It's not running code.
Hiding.
It's just making a change to the style, the way it looks. Yeah.
I knew that I was asking too much from Events Air when they were like, okay, you've done as much as you can with CSS. You need to start doing JavaScript coding. And I'm like, I don't have time to learn Java.
Exactly. Yeah, that is how it comes.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to print all of these out on little cards, and then when we're together, we can trade scripts as little trading cards.
Like Pokemon. Yeah, I love it. Oh my God, let's do that at airtime.
Oh no, don't do it at airtime because I can't come.
Why?
It cost me about $3,000 to come over.
Make Events Air fly you over.
With flights and accommodation and registration. I did ask them. They were like, do you want to be on a panel? I was like,
yes.
Sure.
Yes, I'd love to. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm presenting, so you might as well present.
Yeah.
Yeah. Call your session. I've got code for that.
Yeah.
Got a script for that. That's awesome.
I had a plugin once. Did anyone use that plugin? You remember how for a while there it was like, have you emptied your cache? Seemed to be the catch cry every time there was something not working. And someone posted a plugin online where you could just install it on Chrome. And so it was just a straight up your menu head and hit the thing. It just cleared everything instantly. All care, no responsibility type plugin. It worked for a while. It looks like Grant's removed it from our company.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Is that what you've done? I just went looking for it going, hang on.
No. It's probably like It's deleting everything, and now none of your apps work. So
It's probably why my
you gotta log into
widgets keep
everything again,
disappearing on my dashboard.
Probably.
Who else has that problem? Like every day,
Everybody
they-
has that
all the
problem.
time.
bloody widgets. And it's like the only help I get, I've given up asking, is empty your cache. It's like, oh man.
It's got nothing to do with your cache and everything to do with there's a
Exactly.
bug. And the bug's been there
Yeah.
for years now.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It messes with my
On that.
my
On
head
that.
because everything has to be laid out properly. It's like, oh, it's all gone. We can't do anything until I open up every widget again.
Yeah.
I do find since I've downloaded, well, I've been using the app for ages, I get less having to clear my cache. And I know colleagues, they're always
Yeah.
like, oh, it's not working. I'm like, oh, download the app and you'll have less issues.
Yeah. Are you on
Yeah.
Windows or
Kiwi.
Mac?
Windows.
You still run the app. It'd be like on Windows. It'd be like it was like for that changeover period that was, closing. They're going to kill the app, and then it was like, oh, you just need to use the app for that. It was like I thought it was supposed to be in the
I
web
think that
browser.
there's some people still running the app.
No.
It must be.
No,
Yeah,
I
there
do
is.
the app, but the app is like, it just means it sits standalone. It's still, I'm not a tech person. Yeah, so like at least it sits down, instead of having Google Chrome, I go to the events there.
Right.
Yeah. I had to do it on site, I remember, for gamification. I can't remember what was it. We set up a whole bunch of gamification, and then once you key it in, it displayed incorrectly on the web app. But if you logged into the actual desktop app, you could see the start and end dates. It's like, oh my gosh, it's not redrawing correctly. I don't know if that's been fixed. It was a while ago, but
Oh,
there
this
are-
isn't the desktop app. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was always wasn't it always the fix the desktop app to have to fix
yeah, I think that's what Grant was
speaker
referring
photos?
to. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just talking about the
Web app.
web app.
Gotcha. Okay.
No, there are definitely some people still running the desktop app
Mm.
because they've gone quiet on removing it.
We've got to out them.
You know why?
I'm putting the
Because
call
it-
out there for all desktop app users. Come to the next
We-
session. Talk to us.
It's because when
Wait.
something goes wrong, they need to be able to say to you, just use the desktop app. Oh, that works on the desktop app. If they get rid of the desktop app, that's not.
Well, we're a Mac house, and so it's just like constantly. It was for a while there. It was like, oh, I've got to go find a PC to make this work because it's not working on the web app. So, anyway,
I remember
right.
being at the conference that they announced that they were getting the web app, and I cheered. And I'm not saying that I regret my decisions, but
your
I think that
enthusiasm.
my enthusiasm was too forward, as it is always. I saw something shiny, I got excited.
But you could open multiple tabs. Isn't that exciting?
Oh my God.
I just want to say on behalf of everyone, I love what EA have done with the web app, and it's an extraordinary feat to transition from the old platform to the new.
is
So
true.
thank you so much.
Yes, thank
Oh,
you,
look at
Event
that.
Like I was
We just want to
yeah.
make sure we don't get misinterpreted here.
Yes. No.
That's true.
Yes, we do love the web browser. It was just, I think that maybe I assumed that the changeover would have been a couple of months.
Francie didn't, because she just left. I can see she's walked away from her machine.
So, nah. All right, we're going to call it.
Been
Thank you,
real-
everyone. We'll do it all again next week.
I think
we'll
Sarah
answer
Sarah can be
more
our
of Catherine's
pseudo host
questions.
next week, maybe.
No.
Yes.
I shouldn't be allowed to. I'll turn up in my Events Air hoodie.
Oh, I've got
Nice.
one of them.
Yeah. How cool are we with our Events hoodies?
It's really warm, actually.
It is.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
See you next week.
See ya.
Bye-bye.